I was on the ground like a turtle on its shell. I've ended up with tea all up my face. Hi, I am back out. I'm at Divis and Black Mountain. Hi, I am out today at Divis and Black Mountain. First time here. I was supposed to go somewhere else today, so it's a complete change of plans, but something new. I haven't been here before, so come with me. This is my first time here, and it's quite late in the afternoon, so I'm not sure how far I'll get. I do have a torch, because I had a torch and things packed, because I thought it would have been quite late at somewhere else, but I'm just not sure how I feel. I don't like being somewhere I don't know in the dark. Like if I'm somewhere I'm familiar with in the dark, I'm absolutely fine, but we'll see how far we can get. I can actually see the mountains here in the distance. It's in the cloud. So there's no point in me turning the camera around, but I can vaguely see it. So I'm just going along the ridge trail. I'm not sure how long this will take. There is literally not a sinner about. There was a few people when I pulled up to the car park. The one up at the wee cafe was closed, so I'm parked against across the road because the other one closes at 4 p.m. But pretty bridge. I'm not really a fan of path walks, I'm fairly honest, but I do like this little bridge. Yeah, I can go get the drone up here. Pretty. So I feel like there's not much to show on this walk because it all kind of looks the same. So we'll do a little walk and a talk. I used to laugh at people that said, get outdoors will help. And I was like, bullshit, definitely helps. I started going out on my walk about a year and a half ago. I was just overcoming foot surgery. And I was having to go out and get the steps in to get back to work, and started going to forests and then hills and stuff, and then eventually I went to Silent Valley to the hidden waterfall and fell in love with the mourns just from Silent Valley. And the next week I went out and I hiked Binion with a friend, and it was the best thing I ever done. So grateful. I'll always be so grateful for him taking me. It's one of my childhood friends, because I wouldn't have got to the top without him. It's definitely, a lot of it is in your mind when you're hiking. I tell myself, oh, I can't do that constantly with loads of things, and I have to fight with myself because I can do it. And I did do it. Now I was a lot more unfit then, to be fair, and I was probably about 1.5 stone, 2 stone heavier, And the next hike I done then was Sleep Donard, again with my childhood friend. Hi Johnny, if you happen to be watching this. And it near killed me. Now he took me up the part of the wall, there was no steps. I've since discovered there's a side with steps, which I've never been up that way. I've went up from Bloody Bridge and then up the side that has no steps. And my wee legs trying to get me up. He ended up flying on up ahead of me because the sun was rising. After Donard, I went out on a solo hike. I planned to hike up Sleeve Lamagan. And what a day that was. So I parked a Carrick-Little, walked all the way down to the bottom of Lamagan, all the way down to Blue Lock. I was like, oh my God, it is far too windy. That's so unsafe. I can't go up there. Basically talked myself out of it. So I walked towards the car again. Then I was like, no, not just go back and do it. So I walked all the way to the base of Lamagan and was like, far too windy, so unsafe, you can't do that. Walked all the way back to Carrick-Little. Now I think it's some 3 miles. So I'd already been up and down this twice. And then I got to the car and I was like, stop being a little go back and do it. So I walked 3 miles back again and I hiked Lamagan and I was so proud of myself. It was the best feeling in the world. And then I realised I can do it and I can do it on my own and I'll be fine and I'll figure things out if things go wrong. And that was a turning point for me. The next day I went and hiked Urrigal and Donegal. And then another, what was the next one I done in the mornings? Can't remember. I must have done about 6 hikes in the space of 3 days. That was me hooked. And next on my list was wild camping. I had went out on a group hike with Robbie from Mourne Mountain Adventures. Shout out to Robbie. And just to see what all I needed to get a feel for what it was like and things. So I did. I went out in that group one. That was a big deal for me because I hate meeting people that I don't know. Such a wee weirdo. And I was going to stay with 5 strangers on a mountain. So that was a test in itself, putting myself out of my comfort zone to be around a group of people and go and do that whenever I didn't even know them. And then I started buying my camping gear. Now I had been watching people wild camp for the guts of maybe a year before I actually started, maybe longer, maybe 2 years. And it's just something that I always wanted to do, but no one would ever do it with me. The company I was around was wanting to do different things and I just never done what I wanted to do, so I just didn't do it. And a month after the group camp, I went out to the Mourne and I done a camp. I went out, it was maybe about an hour before darkness. I was running late, set up late. I dropped my head torch in a river. Found it the next day though, and it was still working, and it was from Amazon, so I still have the same head torch. Dropped my head torch. I forgot my glove. Did I forget my hat? Can't remember. I remember sleeping with socks in my hands. I was so cold. I had to wrap myself in a foil blanket. I barely came out of the tent once it got dark. I was like, no, I'm not going out. And the next morning I woke, and again the same, hiking up Lamagan by myself. I was like, oh my God, I'm so proud of me. It was just the best feeling I'd ever known that I had done that. And that was me. And I've been doing it ever since. So it was sometime this month that I done my first camp. So it's like my year anniversary. And what started as a cheap hobby has become rather expensive because you end up upgrading your gear. You want this, you want that. I've since got Action 5 camera, which I'm holding, a drone. I started with the Fox 1 by OES tent. And then I got the Fox 2 after my first camp. I realised that thing's like a coffin. So I got the Fox 2. Absolutely loved that tent. I've been out in many storm and all in it. Fantastic tent. And then I got the Helm Compact, which I absolutely love. But I was speaking to the team at Nortent and I sent them my social media name and asked, do you fancy doing a cheeky wee collab? And to my surprise, they actually wrote back and was like, we checked out your content, we absolutely love it. It's really different to what people we would normally collab with, which is normally men. And we would love to send you out the Fern one and Footprint. So I will be getting that soon. So I went from starting a year ago to Nor tent collabing with me. Roll on the winter camps this year. I can't wait. It's going to give me so much confidence being out there in the harsh weather, especially in the Mourne Mountain, in the wind and stuff. It'll make me feel a bit safer because I know those tents are meant to be amazing in the bad weather. So guys, we've came a long way. I'm still no expert by no means. Every day, every camp, I learn something new about camping and about myself. It has grown my confidence massively, and I post all this. I started posting on TikTok, I now post on Instagram and YouTube, and to me it's like a bit of exposure therapy. It's really out of my comfort zone. People seem to think I have loads of confidence because I post on these things, and I really don't. I'm very self-conscious, I have low confidence, and this is helping me build it. So it's actually, not to sound dramatic, but hiking and camping has been a bit of a life changer for me, and something I hope will continue for a long time. It's really helped my anxiety and mental health as well. I've documented a bit about that on my TikTok, and I'm going to stop rambling now and show you some scenery. There's the Mourne Mountains over there. Another thing I find really unnerving when you're out somewhere like this and you say hello to someone and they literally ignore you, and you're like, okay then, what is with that? I'd be like hello to everyone I pass, and then see when someone doesn't say it back, it honestly, it unnerves me. There was 2 people the other night when I was on a camp, and on my way to the camp, and I said hello. One of them said hello back, and the other one was just blank face. I was like, all right then, hello to you too. See, the next morning after my first camp, I slipped and I fell with my bag on, and I was laying on the ground like a turtle on my back on top of the bag. I couldn't get myself up. The bag was that heavy that I physically could not get myself up off the ground. See if anyone had seen me. Now a trail runner came along about 30 seconds after I got myself up off the ground, and I was never so grateful that it hadn't been 30 seconds beforehand. When I tell you, I was on the ground like a turtle on its shell. I couldn't get up. Every time I tried to pull myself up, the weight of my bag pulled me back. I had to unclip the bag, get up, lift the bag and put it back on again. See, thinking back now, I've had some amount of disaster, and I try to keep them in and show them, because I know as a female starting out, you feel like, oh, I can't do that, or what, that was wrong. Things do go wrong, but they're easily fixed. If you've thought about what you're bringing with you, then you'll be fine. And if you forget something, you adapt and you learn. So don't ever feel that you can't do it, because you can. Really good view of Belfast. I'm not even sure how much longer this walk lasts, but it looks like it goes on for miles and miles. The wind is starting to pick up and it is starting to get dark, but we'll be fine. We'll be grand, as we like to say from this country. tea time. I always like to bring a wee thermos flask when I'm on just like a walk somewhere, like I'm not up the mountains, because I don't see the point in messing about with a jet boil when you can just have tea straight away. So that's me on the path back to the car park. You can walk all the way up to there, but I will leave that for another day because, as I say, it's going to be dark soon. So I'm going to end the video here, guys, because I'm just on a never-ending road here. There's not much to say, but if you've made it this far, thank you for watching, and hopefully my next one will be a camp. Bye!